Your brain ever feel like a Netflix account with 5 users logged in? One's watching a cooking show, one's crying over a war documentary, one's learning kung fu, and you're just trying to brush your teeth. That's not just your imagination, that's your frontal lobe buffering across timelines. Because everything everywhere all at once isn't just a movie. It's what it feels like to live with ADHD, with CPTSD, with dissociation, and the truth. Maybe mental illness isn't about losing touch with reality. Maybe it's about getting stuck between too many. The multiverse isn't science fiction, it's a metaphor. In Everything Everywhere All at Once, Evelyn gains the power to verse jump, tapping into the skills, memories, regrets, and traumas of every possible version of herself. Chef Evelyn, Rock Evelyn, Divorcee Evelyn, Bagel Cult Evelyn. And instead of achieving cosmic wisdom, she gets overwhelmed, overstimulated, and emotionally curb-stomped by the weight of it all. Sound familiar? Because that is exactly what a brain with ADHD, CPTSD, or just 5 unprocessed traumas and a caffeine addiction goes through. During a casual trip to the supermarket, the brain already is a multiverse. It's juggling sensory overload, intrusive memories, future worst-case scenarios, unresolved grief, and a recurring flashback to that cringy thing you said in 8th grade gym class. The human mind isn't linear. It's a glitched-out interdimensional streaming service, buffering memories, fantasies, anxieties, and snack cravings simultaneously. And sometimes, the remote's missing, the subtitles are upside down, and someone else is logged in from Ohio. ADHD equals glitchy verse jumping. People say ADHD is about not paying attention, but it's not a lack of focus. It's a lack of filtering. You're trying to focus on one reality, file taxes. But your brain opens 12 tabs like, should I dye my hair? Are we out of cheese? Did I ever finish Breaking Bad? What's my purpose? Existential dread. Hey, raccoons do have thumbs. This isn't distraction. It's glitchy, high-speed verse jumping with no seatbelt, no map, and definitely no chill. ADHD brains are wired for novelty. If a task isn't delivering dopamine in the first 3.5 seconds, your brain will abandon ship in favor of something shinier. That's why you're folding laundry, texting your ex just to check in, researching ancient Roman aqueducts, and ugly crying over a song from 2006 that shouldn't hit that hard, but does. Time blindness, that's your brain trapped in a pocket universe where 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. are basically the same thing. It's not procrastination, it's accidental time travel, with snacks. Schizophrenia equals a brain with no reality filter. Schizophrenia isn't just seeing things. It's like your mind is tuned to 5 radio stations at once, and they're all arguing, whispering secrets, or reading your thoughts out loud. Most people's minds can ignore background noise, random thoughts, flickers of emotion, that guy mumbling on the subway. But imagine your brain couldn't. Every whisper becomes a warning, every shadow becomes a threat, every passing thought turns into the truth. And suddenly, reality isn't a stable setting. It's a chaotic group chat with no admin, no mute button, and a deeply unhinged algorithm. Clinically, it's a breakdown of ego boundaries and disorganized thought. Emotionally, it's like verse jumping through infinite timelines without knowing which one is yours anymore. Hallucinations, delusions, dissociation, not signs of madness, but maybe echoes. Echoes of a brain that's overloading on possibility. A mind that's too open, too porous, too aware. And the scariest part, it's not that you're lost in the multiverse, it's that no one else can see it. The clay pot and the fractured self. In the film, Evelyn's mind fractures. She sees too much, feels too much. She tries to be everything, everywhere, all at once, and she breaks. Enter the clay pot, a metaphor in the movie, but also one of therapy's greatest hits. You're a vessel. Life cracks you. Trauma shatters you. Mental illness takes a sledgehammer to your sense of self. And some days, you feel like a pile of emotional Legos someone stepped on. Healing isn't about gluing the pieces back to how they were. It's not about going back to normal. It's about reintegration, accepting that your identity is messy, that your mind has chapters, contradictions, multiversal detours, and that every cracked piece still belongs to you. The pot doesn't become new again. It becomes whole, with the scars highlighted. That's not failure. That's kintsugi. That's therapy, baby. And if you're doing it right, you don't hide the cracks. You make them shine. Bagel versus googly eye, depression and radical meaning. Now, let's talk about the bagel. Joy doesn't just want to destroy the world. She wants to escape it. Because when everything matters equally, it starts to feel like nothing matters at all. And that's depression in a nutshell. You zoom out so far, everything loses shape. The bills, the dishes, the people who love you. It all folds into a swirling question mark. That's nihilism. But Wayman, sweet fanny pack-wearing Wayman, offers another lens. Absurdism. If the universe is meaningless, you get to make your own meaning. That's not despair. That's freedom. The googly eye doesn't say everything matters. It says nothing matters. So, let's be kind. Let's choose love. Let's wear silly hats and eat noodles with our hands. Because if we're all doomed anyway, why not hug your daughter before the timeline collapses? Your brain is a multiverse. Now what? Maybe you don't live with labels, or acronyms that come with side effects. Maybe you've just been quietly surviving 1,000 invisible battles without ever calling it trauma. But you still have a multiverse in your mind. You've imagined other lives, other jobs, other partners, other versions of you that you almost became. You've stood in the shower wondering what could have been. You've mourned futures that never happened. You've fought with ghosts of your own potential. And you've probably asked more than once, am I doing any of this right? You are not the wrong version of yourself. You are the one who made it, through timelines of grief, chaos, and goopy-eyed chaos goblins. You're here, still rebuilding your clay pot, still holding the googly eye. And that's enough. Which multiverse version of you is the hardest to sit with? Drop a note in the comments if your brain sometimes verse jumps without permission. Smash that like button if you're 13% more grounded but 29% more existential. And hit subscribe if you're into ideas that stick, figures that sketch. Ready for your next system update? Tap here and keep playing smart.